flying can be stressful, but we've got you covered on this one. We've got some concerns that viewers and things that they've voiced about their biggest concerns about laws and regulations and what you can do to prepare when you do fly. And Shari is joining us with some answers for us. This isn't about not getting the perfect seat or not having the right brand of vodka.
Or today getting bumped on your flights because of the weather.
Exactly. Let's first and foremost, the biggest concern, and I've always talked to my husband about this, is what happens if you lose your ID?
Right.
And you've reached your destination and you can't find it.
Right. Well, generally the answer is that they're going to let you back on your return flight, but you're going to have to establish your identity. So that means you have to establish your name, your address, your gender, your date of birth. You can get creative in the way you're going to be able to do that, though, Roxanne. So documents that you might have on you, prescriptions, utility bills. We have a couple of examples on the full screen here. Documents someone can scan and email to you, or documents that are in the public record. And you need a combination. You're going to need a combination of those to do that. The thing is, you want to make sure that you file a police report so you can show the folks at the airport that you did indeed actually lose your ID. And then you need to get to the airport early because you're going to need to convince that check-in person who will make a notation on your boarding pass, and then you're going to need to convince the TSA people. So allow plenty of time for that. One suggestion when you travel is to take a photograph of your photo ID and keep that on your smartphone. Delete it when you get home.
We do that, and we also make copies of it. Everything and hide it and put it in safes and things.
It's the old-fashioned way.
Well, it is, but you know what? You can pull it out real fast. But we also have copies on our phone as well.
Right.
But it's easier just to have that full size, just document.
But the point is, they're not going to make you stay in Tahiti or wherever you are forever.
Okay, so that's some, like you said, reassuring news. Okay, you get on the plane, you're in the seat, you're fine, everything's perfect. A person sits down, and in the middle seat is a dog.
Right. And
you have allergies.
Right.
Well, or 2 seats over, there's a dog.
This
and you have
question
allergies.
actually came from a woman in Palm Beach who texted me a picture this past weekend of a pig getting on a flight. So thank you, Diane, for that picture.
A pig?
All kinds of animals. We have more animals flying than ever before, more different types of animals, and more than half of the passengers say that they don't believe that animals belong in the cabin in the first place. So you just got to plan on this happening. What the policies are is they will first try to reseat you as far away from the animal as they can. If that's not possible, they'll try to put you on a different flight. The problem is that animals leave dander. So even if there's not an animal sitting next to you, if you have a lot of allergies, they don't deep clean these seats between flights, you're going to have problems anyway. So in today's day and age, folks with animal allergies have got to get used to carrying medication in their carry-ons, getting to the airport early and asking at check-in, are there any animals near me, so you can move before you even get on the plane, and trying to book earlier flights, because the earlier in the day, the less likelihood there is that there's dander buildup. The plane has sat overnight, so things have had time to settle down or maybe be deeper cleaned. And if you do get bumped, you're going to have more flights that day that are convenient.
I mean, I know I've got friends who have actually purchased a seat and after takeoff put the dog in a carrier. But in that seat. So you're obviously sitting beside a dog.
Well, because of all the laws and service dogs and emotional support dogs, which we've covered before, you know, the airlines are a little skittish about really enforcing and asking people. So I've oftentimes sit next to pets that are out of their carriers now, or big pets or whatever. Well, you just need to prepare. The good news is only about 3% of passengers with allergies report having some kind of a serious incident on a flight.
Okay. Well, I was going to say to you, carry some Benadryl or something with you, and I thought it might sound facetious, but no, you're serious.
Absolutely.
Take some allergy meds with you. Have it handy to put on. Okay, so what happens if you have a medical emergency on the plane, a bona fide, you're having a heart attack
and we've
or
all
something
heard
serious?
of someone who knows someone who this happened to. So when you buy your ticket, you're agreeing to the airline policies, which say you're responsible for your own medical condition. I can tell you most of the airlines will have a first aid kit, a defibrillator, crew that's trained in CPR, and now access to a doctor that they can call on the ground. But that's it. So if you have a medical emergency, it's going to be ultimately up to the pilot what they're going to do about it. You need to be prepared, and you need to take that into your own hands.
Yeah, if you're not feeling well, sometimes it's a good idea to postpone
the most common things, fortunately, are nausea, dizziness, that kind of thing. But heart attacks and strokes, you know, fatal type of incidents are not unheard of.
No, it's not, and it's very sad. But and pilots and the airlines generally try to do everything they can to get that plane on the ground. But they're not a flying medical center.
No, and they've got a whole plane full of passengers that they're responsible for, not just one.
Absolutely. Shari, good info. Thank you so much for your time. Let's send things over to Felicia.
Thanks a lot.